Are there any other stories that you can think of that you may have not told? Any obscure stories? Just tell us. You lived at Graceland.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that. You lived upstairs.
Uh-huh.
So I know that in the old days, before the house was modified a lot, when you went upstairs, there was a bedroom on the far left front corner.
Okay, looking up like this?
Yep, you're going up the stairs.
Right.
Tell us about it.
Now, which windows are you referring to?
If you're standing looking at the house, the window on the top of the left-hand side was a bedroom.
On this side?
That's right.
That was ours.
That was your bedroom in the left
The
front.
one on the right's Elvis.
Was Elvis's, right, and Lisa's was the one in the back on the left-hand side.
Lisa didn't, before...
Now, of course, she didn't come around
right.
this time, right.
The one that was directly behind our bedroom was Grandma.
That's right, so Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And so is there another bedroom, or isn't there a bathroom between those two?
There's a bathroom between ours and Grandma's.
Right. And so Grandma's became Lisa's? Or is there
Yes,
another
after
room?
Aunt Gladys passed away, Grandma had got where it was hard for her to get up and down the stairs.
Okay.
So Elvis put Grandma in Aunt Gladys and Uncle Vernon's room.
Right, which everybody knows when you go in the foyer, it's the door to the right.
Yeah.
Just before you turn left and go down in the basement.
Uh-huh.
All right, so how long did y'all live there in that bedroom upstairs?
Almost 5 years.
Really? So that would have been 57 to 62-ish.
Well, yep.
Is that fair? Where did you move when you left? And why was there a reason you moved out? You just weren't working for him anymore, or?
Oh, he was still working with him. But when you got children, which they were in the house also,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a maid with them, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Where did the children stay?
They were downstairs.
Where at?
Do I?
Where did they stay? Down? You're talking about down in the basement.
No, they were
Okay.
not in the basement. That's where the boys stayed.
Okay.
There was a room out built off of the patio, a big, huge room,
Okay.
and that's where they got to stay.
So we're not talking about the jungle room.
No,
We're talking about
when we moved in there was not a jungle room.
right.
It was an open patio.
Okay. So where was this room that you're talking about?
Right, just walk out of the patio and you go open the door and go in here.
Okay, so it's the room off the kitchen. There's a room, if you turn left and go through the kitchen, there's a door.
a bedroom there.
Right, is that the room you're talking
No,
about?
that was the bedroom.
Okay,
They were on the bottom floor,
okay.
right off of the patio, a big, huge room.
I don't know where that room's at, so I'm just trying to place it. So that's interesting that the kids lived there too, and
Yep.
that's awesome. So when y'all moved out, where did you go to? Do you recall? The house that you moved to, or was it a house on the grounds?
We moved out of there and seemed like it was off of what was then Bellevue, which is now Elvis Presley, on up towards Norris Road, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. So, do you have any other stories that you can think of? Anything specific? Anything funny that happened? I know Grandma was quite a hoot.
Grandma was a hoot, but
Yeah.
Aunt Gladys was worse. Now Elvis had a minor bird. Do you know what a black minor bird
I do.
is?
Mm-hmm. And he had the bird room. Yeah,
Right off of the laundry.
that's
room.
right. Mm-hmm.
That little sucker talked. And if you made him mad, you could hear him whistle down to the street.
Really?
But if the phone rang, he would say, hello, hello, Elvis is not here, Elvis not here. Well, all of you get out and go to the devil. Just go to the devil. Now, Aunt Gladys taught that bird a lot of stuff.
So they had that bird then at, did they get it when they went to Graceland, or did they
No,
have it at Audubon?
I don't think they had that bird when they went on Audubon. No,
Okay.
I was out there too, but
So it'd be 57 then. So y'all stayed at Audubon?
no.
You didn't stay there, but I
No.
remember seeing photos of
Yeah.
Gene there,
Yep.
because like you say, they were really tight. They spent a lot of time there.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any recollection, any memories of being at Audubon?
Not really.
Nothing
I mean,
specific.
it was just like home life. I mean,
Okay. All right. So, can you think of anything else that you want to tell? They need to buy your book.
do what?
They need to buy the book, right?
Buy this book and read. No. Now, the little one has got a story that I was told about when I first met him and blah, blah, blah stuff had happened.
Okay. And I know that you mentioned the ETAs earlier, that you love to go see the ETAs, and you even stay out till 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
A lot of times we got home by 5. What are you
By
talking
5
about?
at least. So I'm
We was in a theater at 3 o'clock.
I thought I was exaggerating 3, and you're saying 5. I can't even stay up till 5 a.m. That's funny.
But now one night we come home from the movie, and it was way in the morning. And now this was at Graceland. And we pulled up. Elvis blowed the horn. The guard didn't come down. He said, well, I guess he's in there asleep. I'm not going to tell you what he called the guard, but anyway, he said, I guess he's laying in the guardhouse asleep. Elvis backs his car up across 51 Highway. There was a restaurant here, and he pulled up over there, and he hit that accelerator. Guess where we went? Locked in the gates.
So it didn't go through the gates. It got hung in the gates. The car did. How'd they get out?
There was a window we could get out of, and it was the back window over on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
We crawled out that window, we went around, crawled across the car, and walked up there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, man, I'll be done in 5 minutes. Cody can hang on. Yeah, if he come in here, I'll talk to him. All right.
And you know, the first time he ever played, he played over behind on Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that street right off of Lamar? There's a shopping center in there.
Yeah, Lamar Airways. Yeah.
Yes.
I've done a story about Lamar Airways, yeah.
And he played behind Skaggs Drugstore. I
Mhm.
remember the name.
Mhm.
And he played on a flatbed trailer.
Mm-hmm. Were you there?
I was there.
You know who else was there? You didn't know who he was at the time. Johnny Cash was at that.
And
That's absolutely true. But you and Gene were there?
uh-huh.
So you witnessed that. That's very cool. So it was directly behind the drugstore on the right. I remember there's a breezeway through. The
Yeah,
drugstore was on the
uh-huh.
right, and they played on the right through the breezeway. Is that right?
Yep.
That's very cool.
And let's see, what else? The first time he went back to Tupelo and done that show in Tupelo at the fair, wasn't it the fair?
Mm-hmm. 56.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there at that. That was quite an adventure, wasn't it?
Mhm.
There was a ton of people there.
Yep.
That's very cool. All right, I have. Can you think of anything else? And it's okay if you can't. I have one last question that I'll ask.
Okay, you ask me and I'll see what.
Okay. So the last question. I may or may not use this, but I'm curious
Right.
about something. Okay. So this may or may not make it in the video. It just depends on whether you think it's appropriate or not.
Right.
So there's a video that Gene made where he says that when he stood over the casket, that it wasn't Elvis. Tell me about
we did
that.
not think it was.
You did not.
Right here, that sideburn was up just a little bit.
Mhm. And Gene mentioned his hands. It didn't look like his hands. So you saw it too. So you didn't think so either? Really?
I mean, his little hands was so little, and Elvis did not have a little hand. Any guy that broke as many bricks as that guy did with this side of his hand,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have a little hand.
So you did personally put your eyes on Elvis in that casket, and you don't believe it was him? Or there is questions in your mind about it?
Right.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
Okay. So,
It could have been, because, you know, they can do stuff for you
oh, sure.
in the funeral home.
Yes,
so.
ma'am. So, and I know that's a sensitive subject. That's the reason I'm saying, you know, that's a
Yeah.
very sensitive subject. But I've seen that video, and when you see the video, you have to go, his own cousin that was so tight went, I don't think it was him. So you have to ask the question, right?
Right.
You know, so
But now things have happened that it made you wonder, was it really him?
really, like what?
Just different little things in our life that
Will you
we
share
have seen.
something? You won't? But things have happened.
Right.
Okay. So tell us about Gene. From my recollection, he had, and I know this was a long time ago, but I still know when you lose a loved one that it's a sore subject. Of course, you know, we lost Elvis, but Gene had just something simple up with his foot. Went to the hospital, am I recalling this right? And it was just something minor, but he didn't make it. What happened?
Who, Gene?
Mm-hmm.
Gene went in the hospital with a ruptured disc.
Okay. So it wasn't his foot, it was a back issue then.
It was his back. It wasn't his foot. It was
Okay.
his back. And they was going to operate on his back that day. They got him in the operating room, and his heart acted up. And they come and wanted to know, when did Gene have a heart attack? I said, Gene has never had a heart attack. They asked him, but he said he'd never had a heart attack. But when they checked it out, he had 5 bypasses, and he'd done great during the surgery, was doing real good, and they was going to take him out, put him in a private room the next day.
And boom, just like
Didn't
that.
do it. Mm-mm.
That's a shame. Well, I'm very sorry that happened. I know that had to be a hard time.
Oh, gosh.
You weren't expecting anything, you know, that's horrible. Well, I thank you so much for sharing this history. It's very, very important that you share this, and I
appreciate
really
you
appreciate
asking
it.
me. I feel honored that
No,
you asked.
I'm honored that you agreed. So I can't believe I'm sitting here talking to you. So it's amazing. And those stories are, you know, for posterity. It's important that we find out these things. I call them pieces of the Elvis puzzle. There's little tiny pieces to the puzzle, and they're very, very important. And I thank you so much. So we'll work out how we get in
And
touch
if I
with
think
you.
of anything else,
That sounds good.
I'll call you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Because I do think of other things.
I know you do. And we can get together again. This doesn't have to be the
Right.
only time we get together.
Good.
But we'll get the ball rolling, introduce you to the fans where they can get autographs and that kind of stuff, and then we'll go from there. God bless
Sounds
you.
great.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Won't take nothing but a memory from the house that I built. I said I didn't hear it.
It's today.
Yeah, it'll be the next one. I like a little bit of everything.
Thank you so much.